Hi, Mark Graham. Today I want to take a few minutes to talk about the Grilla and if you're having problems attaining those higher temperatures. So the first thing you want to check for is good fuel. Make sure you're using a good hardwood fuel. And secondly, if you've had your grill for a while and you've ran quite a few bags through it, take the trap door in the back, drain all the fuel out of it, and at the bottom you'll see that more than likely you probably got some sawdust building up in there. And what that does, it starts choking off the auger. So vacuum all that out. I'll actually turn the grill on, go on the inside, and as the fuel is coming out of the auger tube, I'll just keep sucking it out of there until that tube is clean, the hopper's clean, giving you a fresh start, and a lot of times that'll solve your issues. If you've done that, you tried good pellets, you tried another brand of pellets, and you're still having that issue, the next thing we want to talk about is if you're seeing some condensation building up. If you are, there's a couple things that's creating back pressure. So first, let's talk about the drip pan inside. The drip pan, if this is too low, can actually start capping off the lower chamber, creating back pressure. So proper gapping should be 2 fingers or less. If this drip pan is too low, or you can get 3 fingers or more, that's going to start causing back pressure underneath. Then again, forcing that air backwards into your hopper, and you're getting condensation, and that will cause burn issues. So again, 2 fingers or less for a gap here, and you should be fine. The next thing we can do to check for back pressure, if that gap is good, is on some of these lids, they're really nice tight fit. I mean, there's very little gapping here. You adjust your vents going here. Sometimes the sealing is really good around here. The other thing you can try is if those items don't work, just crack your door open just a little bit. So if you come around over here, Jeremy, if you crack your door open, maybe like a finger width like that, and you see your temperature just pop up, which we have in quite a few cases, it's worked out, very simple fix. Again, that's because everything's a nice and tight seal, and it just needs to breathe a little better, and you should see the condensation go away. You should see your temperature rise. Again, leaving it open is an option. The other thing you can do, this is pretty easily flexed. You can kind of hold these things and just pull out a little bit until you start seeing a little bit of gap by the handle, and then you can kind of do the same thing on the other side, just pull it out. What you're trying to do is just make this gap a little bit bigger so the air can get out of the machine. With that back pressure and the condensation, the flame is not getting the full airflow, causing that issue. The last thing I wanted to talk about is if on the inside, if you're using tin foil, get rid of it for testing purposes at least, because if your tin foil is blocking any of the airflow back here, that will mess up your RTD reading. So if you're using tin foil, let's take that variable out of there and make sure that's not something that's affecting it. And if you want to swing around the back for one more option, if we want to rule out the control board and the auger motor, if you come back here, I'm going to spin the armature a little bit, you'll see the armature turning. If this grill's been running for at least 20 minutes, that means we're out of the startup phase. This auger motor should be running at 100% anytime it's below temp. So if this thing's been running for 45 minutes, you have it set for 450, and it's only at 400, this thing should be running nonstop. If it's starting and stopping, that's a problem. If it's running 100%, then we know the fuel is getting in there, we know the auger is good, we know the controller is good, so then we're going to go back and talk about the back pressure. So those are a couple things, you guys. Usually one of those things is the culprit. I always start with the easy one, the fuel, so start with air for sure, and then just work your way through the rest of them. And if none of those things work, give us a call and we'll be glad to help you.